So this is going to be fun, man. I've never been into like post-punk or new wave stuff, but Depeche Mode put out a new album last week on March 24th called Memento Mori. So we're going to review it. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I appreciate your time. Hope everybody's having an awesome day. Like I said, I've never been a fan of Depeche Mode, but this new album was quite the adventure. So I'm going to talk about it with you for a few minutes, and hopefully you'll go check it out too. It's streaming on Spotify. But the record's 12 songs. It's 50 minutes, 25 seconds in length. And like I said, I've never been a fan of them. I've actually never really listened to Depeche Mode. I knew the guy's voice a little bit, so I've heard a couple of their hits. Wasn't a fan, never got into their deep cuts whenever I was younger. And people that listened to the new wave and the post-punk stuff, they were much more industrial and emo, and that was like their lighter side of stuff. When I had lighter side of stuff, it was usually ska and reggae for me. So I just never got into it. Objectively, I'm sure it's pretty good music. I know it's well made, but probably produced wonderfully, but I just was never into it. I don't even know how it got on my radar. It is what it is, though. I guess I was supposed to hear this album. I listened to it like 3 times before writing the review. So let's just jump right in. The opening song sets the tone for this atmospheric, moody voyage we're about to take. The first track is a little bit long, but it'll suck you in real quick. And before you know it, you're on an adventure in some futuristic neo-noir world where everything's moving slow. It's always dark and rainy. And Ryan Gosling is staring at you behind some breath of cigarette smoke he's just exhaled. Yeah, it's going to take you into some kind of weird dream world. Nightmare world or something. I don't know. But yeah, you'll start daydreaming. It feels like a movie. That's how I feel when I'm listening to music like this. When it's a certain kind of music can take me out of where I'm at and put me into a different world. And that's what this album did. And I think that goes to show you how well it was crafted. The production was excellent. His vocals were excellent. The storytelling was magnificent. Yeah, man. The pacing of this album is akin to an A24 movie, though. It's a slow burn. All right. It's more about mood and vibe than anything. There's going to be stories being told on this album. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it when I decided to listen to and review it because I'd never listened to Depeche Mode before. I'd heard a couple of the songs in passing, but I've never been a fan, and I've never actively listened to an album or anything. So, but yeah, never intentionally. I can't even recall any of their big hits, to be honest. I can hear them in my head a little bit, but I don't know the words or the names of the songs. Maybe I'll do a deep dive into their catalog or something, because about 3/4 through this album, I found myself enjoying things that I would have absolutely hated in my younger years. Maybe this was the perfect time for me to discover Depeche Mode. Who knows? I'm really enjoying the synths and the 80s feeling on the songs, but the word that just keeps sticking out to me while I'm listening to this is atmospheric, man. That's all I keep going back to as time passes, as each track goes on and on. Atmospheric, atmospheric. That's what this is. This is a world building album. I've been saying in previous reviews that more bands and artists need to head in the direction of shorter albums, leaving you wanting more. But if you can create a journey like this with different levels and chapters and not have it dip in quality at all, then I guess you should probably do it, because this album wouldn't be the same if anything was cut out of it. It is a long story. It is a journey. This is the kind of thing you listen to from front to back. I feel like every track on this album could fit in either a montage of some kind, a love scene, or the ending credits of any movie, man. It's one of those kind of albums. It makes me want to move. I'm telling you, it really does. It's good music to dance to. I would say it's probably good music to ride a Peloton to or something, or get chores done around the house. I'm telling you, you can really zone out while listening to this and just kind of daydream and go into your own little world. This is an amazing record. I really do like it a lot, and I'm very surprised at my opinion on it. I definitely hear the influence that Depeche Mode had on bands like She Wants Revenge. It's really clear to me now where all kinds of bands got their sound from. It's kind of crazy discovering them so late in their career and so late in my life at 41 years old. They've got a very particular style of like synthy Pop-Goth, and I would have hated it in my younger years. I'm glad I didn't listen to it back then, but I'm really glad that I checked this album out. There's a certain kind of fan that comes to a band later on in their career and they like the later stuff and not the old hits and the classics. I think that might be me with this band. I'm gonna locate a copy of this on vinyl and buy it, I believe. I'm shocked that I like it, to be honest. An album that's over 50 minutes, it seems to go by pretty quick, though. Depeche Mode's gonna bring you into a dream world on this album. While at first I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to cite any songs that were actually good or that stood out on this album. Boy, I was wrong about that. And there's no songs on here that I'd skip. That doesn't mean it's perfect, though, because it's definitely not. There's just no skid marks on this record. But But there's 3 songs that I personally feel stand out. They're going to be added to the PRD playlist on Spotify. Those songs are My Favorite Stranger, People Are Good, and Always You. Those 3 tracks are fantastic. They're really good songs I think could just stand out. They could stand on their own. They're great songs that are an album. I don't know, man. I'm a little surprised that I enjoyed this so much. I'm going to be revisiting this one quite a bit, I think, throughout the summer. I'm going to give Depeche Mode, Memento Mori, an 8.5 out of 10. I think this album is fantastic. I hesitate to go into their back catalog and ruin this experience for me, so I might not do that. But if you have any specific albums or songs by them that you really love and you want me to check out, let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to do it. I'm all about getting in with fan interaction, viewer interaction, and learning some new stuff. I'm not gonna sell myself short by just ignoring the fact that this band exists. That's silly. So, but I really enjoyed it a lot, man. I'm really happy to have heard it. I hope you enjoyed this review. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you can do so via Etsy, Patreon. We have a merch shelf on the channel now. There's many, many ways to do so. The most important is that you're here watching the video. So thank you for your time. Please like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. We drop videos almost every single day. All right. Have a good day, everybody. Talk to you soon. Peace.